iPhone XS Max versus Huawei Mate 20X speed test. That video is coming up right now. Let's go. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and I'm excited to bring you this one today of the iPhone XS Max versus the Huawei Mate 20X speed test, both built on the 7nm process, the number 3 smartphone manufacturer in the world. Apple, number 2 in the world, Huawei, and number 1 is Samsung, if you were wondering. Let's go ahead and begin with a boot up test here on both devices. This is the bigger version of the Mate 20 Pro, if you were wondering. So if you are looking at the speed test for the Mate 20 Pro, just keep in mind that these results will be identical, as they do have the same processor and RAM under the hood. So this is just a bigger brother to that Mate 20 Pro. So here we are with the boot up test, and this one's gonna be a close call, but I'm gonna guess it's gonna be Apple. Let's go ahead and see which one does get there first here on the boot up. And you could see Huawei boots up. No, it's Huawei that boots up first over Apple. Pretty shocking. I thought that because the boot animation, it was gonna be a little bit slower, but no, the first win goes to the Huawei Mate 20X. Okay guys, so let's do a facial recognition test. If you're wondering how much bigger is that phone, well, it's about 0.7 inches bigger at 7.2 inches versus 6.5 here on the left. Actually, the regular Mate 20 is the same size as the XS Max. So if you want this size, you want the Mate 20 or the Mate 20 Pro. Okay, let's look at the Face ID, and you can see it gets me basically every time, no matter if I'm in the dark or not. Face ID just works. That's just how I could put it. However, it's not as quick, I think, as Touch ID, where you never had to even do an extra swipe to get in. So I hope Apple implements in the future a way to like skip the lock screen if you want to, because you can do that for the Mate 20 series. Over here, we don't have infrared, we don't have all that tech up in the notch, but it does give you a nice teardrop notch, which I think looks cleaner than this bigger notch over here. And let's go ahead and take a look at this face unlock. 3, 2, 1. And you can see you didn't even see the lock screen. 3, 2, 1. And you didn't even see it. 3, 2, 1. Look at that. Just ridiculously fast in the speed. Now you also have a fingerprint sensor on the 20X, and that's also very quick. So that fingerprint sensor on there is actually faster than Apple's older Touch ID 2nd gen. So this phone is very fast to unlock in the Mate 20X. However, if you want higher security with the technology in the notch, you definitely want the Mate 20 Pro, but I'm giving the win in speed here to the Mate 20X. Okay guys, so here we go with the moment you've been waiting for, the application speed test. Everything closed out on the Mate 20X, everything closed out on the left, iOS 12.1.1 and EMUI 9 with Android 9 Pie. Let's go ahead and get into calendar, and you can see the Huawei is a little bit quicker there. Now the animation, if you're looking, looks almost identical on both, and the Huawei a little bit quicker there. However, I find it to look a little bit smoother for the iPhone. It just looks a little choppier for the Mate 20X. Let's go into Snapchat. You can see Snapchat is a win on the right. Coming home, let's go into weather. And you can see weather is first for the Mate 20X. What about WhatsApp? That's going to the Mate 20X. Let's go into Instagram. And you can see Instagram, what's up Casey? Instagram is really just, you know, faster there on the right to load. Let's go into Twitter. And Twitter loads first on the right as well. 7nm chip here on both phones, so really nice stuff. 6 GB of RAM on the right, 4 on the left. Amazon. And Amazon is first for the Mate 20X, so not surprising there. eBay. You can see eBay first again for the Mate 20X, so a very fast phone, at least an everyday app so far. YouTube. And YouTube first, and definitely more enjoyable on that freaking 7.2 inch screen over there on the right. So you can see, there you go. Way less notch cutting into your content for the Mate 20X. Let's go into Slither. 3, 2, 1. And can the iPhone win on gaming again? And yes, it does. So the Mali G76 GPU in the Huawei is not going to be enough for the iPhone XS Max. Let's go into Jetpack Joyride. And I noticed that every time I come out of a game, at least with the gestures on the Mate 20X, it seems like, you know, it's a little bit choppy. You can see right there, a little bit of a delay. I don't like that. And the iPhone comes out really smooth. Go into PUBG Mobile and see which one can win this. Now, this requires a lot more time to load, so we're gonna really see who's got the power here on PUBG Mobile. And it looks like the XS Max has got the power of optimization so far, but this is pretty close for an Android phone. I haven't seen many Android phones even stay this close, so pretty close here. We're within a few seconds behind, but the iPhone XS Max says, sit down, big boy. Just because I'm smaller than you does not mean I'm not more powerful than you in some areas. So you can see, there you go. The iPhone XS Max, and look at this delay right here. I really do not like that right there. Let's go into Dead Trigger 2, 3, 2, 1. And you can see Dead Trigger 2 is ready to go. Wow, that was pretty close, but slightly to the XS Max. Let's hit play and see which one can get into that game first. Now, the Mate 20X does have a cooling system to keep the phone pretty cool under gaming, but I'm telling you right now, in real world use, both of these are gonna give you a phenomenal gaming experience here. Whichever one you go with, you're gonna be happy, because you're gonna be happy with the large screen gaming and the cooling system, keep it cool, and the great battery life for the Mate 20X, and you're gonna love the optimization and the amazing games that are available for the iPhone. Let's go into Geekbench, and you can see Geekbench is first for the Mate 20X. Let's go into Video Shop. And Video Shop loads first on the right, it seemed like, very slightly. So again, in this test, even with 7nm, it seems like the iPhone pulls ahead again in gaming. This is one of the closest phones I've ever seen to the iPhone in gaming though. So for what it's worth, I think it's so slight it doesn't really matter anymore if you're choosing between a iPhone XS Max and a Mate 20 Pro, Mate 20X. In terms of performance, they're pretty much identical in real world use. Okay guys, so let's just go ahead and run through some multitasking to see if we do get any reloads. Beginning with the iPhone XS Max, I really just love how smooth this phone feels when you're going through stuff. It's just so smooth. I haven't seen pretty much any other phone as smooth as this, and that has a lot to do with the, you know, Apple controlling the hardware and the software, having 120 Hz sensing touch sample rate on here. It's just a very fast, iOS 12 being super optimized. It's just a really fast multitasking experience there, and nothing reloaded there. Let's go into Video Shop, but the Huawei with 6 GB of RAM should not give us reloads either. It might still do that little stutter thing, but that's not a reload. Let's go into PUBG, doesn't reload that. Let's go into Jetpack Joyride, and let's go into Slither, and let's get out of there. And you see on the games every time with that little stutter. And eBay, Amazon, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, weather, Snapchat, clock, calculator, and calendar. So there was basically no reloads here for the Mate 20X either. So pretty much equal in multitasking, just that little, you know, delay you've seen when it goes out of the games. So what I did is I put the system navigation buttons back on, and I want to see if that just makes a difference on how it comes home. So let me hit that home button, and yes, it does. So it has to do with the gestures doing that little delay for the Mate 20X. So pretty much equal here in multitasking performance in this test. Okay, so let's do some video rendering. Now I do have the same video on both of these devices. I took it on the iPhone XS Max, transferred it over to the Huawei Mate 20X, and we're gonna go ahead and save them in just a minute. I'm gonna compile this one up first, and then we're gonna save them in 1080p. So let me hit share over here. 1080p and 30 frames per second. These were shot in 1080p 30, so 1 minute and 45. So this should take a minute or two. Let me go ahead and hit save here. 1080 30, not 4K. We're gonna go 1080 30 here, and let's hit photos and gallery. And which one is gonna finish this one first? It should be pretty interesting to see. From the looks of it, it looks like Apple is in the lead right here. I'll be back when they are done. As you can see, the iPhone finished substantially over the Huawei. It finished when the Huawei was about 76, 77%. So the A12 Bionic still showing that it is the most powerful CPU out there. And that was pretty impressive for the iPhone. So good stuff there. The Huawei was not slow though, it was pretty close, but the iPhone wins it there on video rendering. Okay, so the final Geekbench scores are in, and you can see it's a crushing win for the XS Max, and over here, pretty good results for the Mate 20X. However, I'm not sure if these are true, as Huawei was caught cheating before on benchmarks, but this is what it's scoring right now, at least in this synthetic benchmark. At the end of the day, who is the winner of the speed test? I think the XS Max is still faster than the Huawei Mate 20X, but very slightly. This is pretty close for an Android phone, and I think closer than any other phone you can buy on the Android side is gonna be the Huawei Mate 20 series right now. So if you're looking for that ultimate performance, the Mate 20 series has got it. I think mostly what is making the iPhone ahead still of a lot of Android competitors is the optimization between hardware and software. However, animations are faster for Android. Them little gestures that were kind of delaying the games when coming out of multitasking could be fixed by the system navigation, but stuff like that is just what makes the iPhone feel like a more polished experience. Overall, both incredible, but if you want to see a full comparison between both of them, they got a lot of other features like 40 megapixel camera, triple lens on here for the Huawei Mate 20X, and a dual camera lens here for the iPhone. Let me know down below in the comments section. If you do like this video, click the like button for me and subscribe if you haven't already. Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well. Thank you very much for watching. I will catch you all in the next one, and peace.